It has been a day of tense debate in Parliament after Prime Minister Mario Draghi outlined his position and called for unity.
Signalling a seismic gender and political shift, Giorgia Meloni is expected to become Italy's first ever female Prime Minister.
Her surge in popularity is being attributed to the fact that her party was the only one that refused to partake in the Draghi government's broad coalition. Another significant point of contention is Italy's €200 billion share of the EU COVID recovery fund. And while the Democratic Party has committed to the Draghi government's investment plan, the right-wing coalition has not.
As expected, the right-wing coalition received the majority in both houses of Parliament. The worst drought in 7 decades has reduced Italy's largest river to dry soil and sandbanks.
This district produces 40% of Italy's agriculture, but as you can see, water is struggling to reach the fields that are desperately in need. The National Farmers Association estimates billions of dollars in losses.
Wildfires, which started in the hills, were fanned by strong winds and 43-degree temperatures to reach the beach and then nearby nature reserve.
The fire here in Pescara was one of dozens across the state that caused significant damage, and authorities believe many of them were deliberately lit.
A devastating end to a scenic ride that never reached its destination. A cable car with 15 tourists on board crashing 20 metres to the rugged terrain below. Ischia is a jewel of southern Italy, but there are still clear signs of a devastating landslide that enveloped everything in its path. Days after being crowned the MotoGP world champion, Francesco Bagnaia says he's yet to realise the magnitude of the win.
I'm very happy, very proud of my team.
Sitting in her favourite room of Italy's most precious villa, Princess Rita Boncompagni Ludovisi reflects on how lucky she's been to call it home for the past 2 decades.
This car can reach 100 kilometres per hour in just 3.2 seconds. It's a speed that can make a life-saving difference.
It's that time of the year in Venice when the characters of Carnevale take centre stage.
The masquerade balls are among some of the most exclusive events of Carnevale, but this year, due to COVID regulations and limited numbers, they're even more prestigious.
Cortina actually hosted Italy's first ever Olympics in 1956, and organisers say its return here reaffirms the town's importance in winter sports around the world.
The biggest difference between the Beijing Winter Olympics and those of Milano Cortina will be the return of spectators, with Italian organisers predicting 2 million tourists from around the world.
The cashmere creations of designer Brunello Cucinelli are quintessentially made in Italy, and marking a new era for the brand, his return to Milan Fashion Week was an intimate affair. Pompeii is one of the world's most treasured archaeological sites.
And what were some of the technical challenges with the restoration process?
The history, mystery and magic of an old world said to be appreciated for generations to come. Hermione Kitson, CGTN, Italy.